But I remembered my father. I had remembered my father and what he had said all those years. And I just remember thinking, my father was right. My dad was right. When I was younger, I thought I was the bee's knees. I had some intelligence and some charisma, and I thought that the world was my oyster. I believed that at some point in my life that I was going to be very successful and very, very rich. I didn't know how it would happen or where it would come from, but I believed that it would just all fall into my lap. I genuinely thought that I was the main character. And recently I've been thinking about the reasons as to why I used to think like that. Upon a lot of reflection and introspection, I think that this ridiculously naive mindset came from the fact that in school I was relatively smart, and getting praised for my natural ability meant that I deluded myself into thinking that success was natural to me, and maybe even something I was entitled to, simply because of how everyone around me perceived me. And all of that because I was getting a certain number on an exam or a piece of homework. And because of that, I heavily relied on my natural ability. This reliance on ability rather than effort persisted throughout my life. I found myself understanding concepts very quickly, but I never put in the effort required to achieve my full potential. If there was an assignment due, I'd stay up the night before and do what I could. If there was an exam, I'd start preparing maybe a week before the exam. If I had an interview, I'd Google away the morning of the interview. One day, my dad saw me typing away one early morning and asked me what I was doing. I told him I had an assignment due today and I needed to get it done. And he asked me, "Did you start on it today?" I said, "Oh, it's fine. I do this all the time." He then said to me, and I quote, which means life cannot be lived this way. My dad believes that nothing comes easy, and his default position is that anything is achievable as long as you come with two things: hard work and discipline. I heard his words a lot, but I never listened. And as all teenagers think, I thought I had it all figured out and that my God-given abilities would take me to the promised land. As I went through the educational system and the more difficult it became, I found more people that were more intelligent than I was. And I tried to understand them, why they were so clever, and see the lives that they lived from the little that I saw. It felt like they understood concepts immediately, whereas I was taking a bit more time to understand it. And it looked like that they spent a small amount of time studying for exams and completely acing them. I would try to do the same and fail constantly. And the worst thing is that these people weren't just a lot more intelligent than I was. Behind closed doors, they were putting in a lot of time and effort to consolidate what they had learned and going above and beyond. Instead of being really wise about the situation and thinking these people are most likely putting in a lot more effort than I was, I came to a completely opposite conclusion. I made a decision somewhere inside me that I just did not have the capacity that these people had. I started accepting that just doing okay was my reality. I developed a fixed mindset. This thinking starts to seep into other parts of your life as well. You close so many doors for yourself, all because of the way you think. I didn't apply for internships because I felt like there were people who were more intelligent than me, so what's the point of applying? And all of this because of the way I was thinking. Nothing tangible, it was all in my mind. It can really be your greatest friend or your worst enemy. After some time, I was unhappy with the decisions that I'd previously made and where they led me to. And ultimately, my younger self would not be happy where I was at that time. Where was the insane amount of self-confidence that I had, and where was the outrageously positive outlook that I had on life? After self-reflection, I concluded that my dependence on my natural ability, which wasn't even all of that, by the way, had led me down a road where I was making the same mistakes over and over again. I'm just not that smart. And if I want to achieve anything from here on out, it has to be based off hard work, grit, and discipline. That is it. It's so cliche, but it's unavoidable. Hard work beats talent always. And in that moment, when I came to that realization, it was kind of liberating in a really weird way. But I remembered my father. I had remembered my father and what he had said all those years. And I just remember thinking, my father was right. My dad was right. And he wasn't just right about this. He was right about a lot of things. And then I realized that there's a term for the way I was thinking before, and it's called a fixed mindset. And being able to grow out of that, and no pun intended, go into a growth mindset was life-changing. My dad was right. Anyway, this is all I've got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is Mohammed, and I'll see you guys in the next one, inshallah.